Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Dustin. And today, joining us is the writer and director of Living with Chucky, Kyra Elise Gardner. And we're here to talk all things Chucky. Kyra, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I actually just got my wisdom teeth pulled out yesterday, but I'm here doing this interview.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's honestly, it's completely fine. I actually feel really good. And I don't know if that's the pills talking or whatnot, but I'm
Yeah,
super excited to be here.
I was about to say, do you feel good because of the meds you're on?
Yeah. Yeah. But this is really exciting to have you on. I'm so happy to have this opportunity. And I know we have a very short amount of time, so I want to be as brief and as quick as possible. But what I always like to do with all the guests that we have on our show is to kind of bring it back to the beginning. We can do it as brief as you want, but where did filmmaking and the love of movies start with you?
Oh well, I'll try to be short as well. My parents obviously are. My mom also worked in film, and then now she is a little bit more again. So both my parents were involved in film. So the movies that they exposed me to as a kid had a big influence on that and what I grew up watching. And originally, I didn't intend to go into filmmaking at all. It was inspired me because I was so desensitized to horror and blood and guts at that point. So I actually wanted to be a nurse.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, originally. And then I volunteered at a local hospital, and I just realized that it wasn't quite a fit, that like 9 to 5
Yeah.
lifestyle. And it was kind of sad to be honest.
Yeah.
So much appreciation for nurses out there, but it was not my cup of tea. So my parents encouraged me to take a filmmaking class over a summer because they were like, don't knock film until you try it. Because my only exposure to it was the makeup side of things with my dad.
Yeah.
And I took a directing class for a summer in high school, and I fell in love with that. And so after that, I pursued film school.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't want to go down, doing makeup and stuff, obviously taking after your father, but it's cool that your whole family has been in this and everybody's doing their own little thing. You have this amazing documentary that's coming out on Screenbox very soon. Um, and then, all the awesome work that your father has done with Chucky and whatnot. And I have to say that this documentary is probably one of the best documentaries I've seen in a long time because I'm a huge Chucky fan. Huge. My son, he's 5 now, but he has like so many different costumes of Chucky. He's got a doll in the other room. I unfortunately don't have anything up in this wall space yet because I kind of rent out of space. So it's really cool that you went into a real deep dive of this. So where did wanting to make this documentary come from? Was it because your father was involved with Chucky and it kind of you know went into your home in that way, or is it just because you really enjoyed the films?
It actually originated as a short film that I did for a project in college.
Okay.
My film school was one of the few that had a semester on documentary filmmaking. And so I decided I wanted to do something that was a little bit more personal to my own life. And originally I was intending to make one on growing up with my dad as a special effects makeup artist, but it seemed a little too broad for our running time that we had in
Okay.
school. So we decided to focus on a specific facet of his career that's been there the entire time I've been around, which was Chucky. And so it originated as a short film in college, and then it had such a great response at festivals and from the Chucky family. And I had so much footage anyways, so I was like, this should just be expanded upon because I already have so much there already.
Yeah, and it's a great film. It's really well put together. I love how you kind of did all the segments of putting things into the VCR and going through all the movies, and then at the end, like you touch on the series that's now 2 seasons in, which is phenomenal. I don't think anybody would have ever thought that. Okay, we're gonna make a Chucky series, and it's gonna go on for multiple seasons. So to
Yeah.
see this franchise, because in my opinion, the Chucky franchise is one of the strongest franchises out there. Everything about it is perfect. There's not a bad one at all. And even with the series now, it keeps adding more and more and more. So like everybody is doing fantastic. And I wanted to ask you, would you ever want to star in a Chucky film or be in the series? Would you want to play a character?
I am somebody who is very comfortable behind the camera.
Okay, okay.
But I would appreciate dying on camera. Like I would
Oh, yeah, same. I would love that.
yeah, I would love to homage to my dad's death, and I would love to get decapitated.
I was actually going to ask you about that. How was it seeing your father die on film?
I was 8 when I watched it.
Oh wow,
So
yeah. So,
yeah,
woo.
I thought he actually died that day.
Oh no.
I had to call my dad and be reassured that he was very much still alive. It's very
Oh,
confusing as a kid. But but I worked through it. We worked through it. And as soon as my dad picked up the phone, I was like, okay, it's fine.
yeah. Wow. 8 years old seeing that. Yeah, I think that would affect me, I think at any age really, but being that old, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I watch it
Um,
and I'm like, oh, I know everything that's like how they even did it. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he went through all the steps with you and things. So like, hey, here's the head I used and everything like that, which is
After the fact, yes. And his head has made an appearance most all of Halloween's at our family
oh, that's
dining.
awesome that he still has it. That's really, really cool. That's something I would treasure too. Um, so going on with the documentary, you have the scenes I just briefly talked about with you, putting the movies into the VCR and lightly going over all of the films. Out of the whole franchise, is there one movie that sticks out the most to you that you cherish the most?
I really like Child's Play 2.
Oh, that's one everybody always goes to, and I love that one too. That's a really, really good one.
Yeah. After that, I would have to say Bride.
Of course, yes. Bride is because of how different it is, and you guys talked about it a lot in the documentary, which was really, really cool. Of how it kind of, brought a new, fresh take to it because you had no Jennifer in it, and that's how crazy it gets. Yeah, I have to agree. Mine has always been the first Child's Play, but every year it changes because I go back and revisit them all the time. And now my girlfriend, she's not a huge horror fan, but she loves Chucky for some reason. It's so weird.
Interesting.
It's so weird. Like she loves a TV show because I started having her watch that, and then we went through all of the movies. She's like, you know what, this isn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, anything Chucky related is badass. And I'm so happy that you made this documentary to, go even further into the mythos of everything that Chucky is.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that
Um,
she likes it. That's really cool. Now you guys can bond over it.
yeah, we actually watched a documentary with the screen that we got. And she was like, "This is awesome." I'm like, "Yes,"
Oh,
and I
cute.
pre-ordered the DVD as well, and everything. I'm so excited to have other people watch this.
Thank you.
Um, so that kind of brings me to a next question: is Screambox. So how did that come about?
Yeah. This was like the most indie that you could make a film because it started as a like project in film school that I expanded on. I had no money. I found all the money after the fact to help me just like do what I needed to do with like a lawyer and color grade and sound mix, which is not the way to properly make a movie. So when I finally got it cleared with a fair use attorney, we went into the festival circuit and I had no idea. I was like, I tried getting in touch with like streaming services or things like that, but really without an agent, I wasn't finding any luck. And so in my film festival circuit, I was connected to Yellow Veil, which is the sales team.
Okay, yeah.
And when they came on, things finally started happening and it was wonderful. And then Screambox took an interest in it. And I actually met their team at Fantastic Fest. They were there already for this other documentary that they have, I think on it.
Yeah, the
And
Pennywise documentary.
yes, so we got to meet in person before the deal was solidified and talk about it a bit. And then the rest is history. And I was like, yay, people will actually be able to watch this. Thank goodness, because I was fighting so much like legal battles for IP and things
Hmm.
like that. I didn't even know if I would be able to take it at festivals at all. And now the fact that people can watch it is I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, it's awesome. And Screenbox has been super kind to us. We do so much for them with coverage and everything. So having you added to the library of already really good movies and other really good documentaries is it's a really good home for this. And I think
Oh,
everybody is gonna enjoy it. So I'm happy that you finally, got it a home for other people to watch it. And it's gonna be going on DVD, which is absolutely insane. A lot of documentaries, it takes a long time for them to even get to that stage.
oh, I
So
didn't know
it's
that.
yeah, there's been a lot of documentaries that I wanted to get, but I had to wait for so long for them to get someone to buy it, to want to distribute it and everything. So it's really cool for you to have the streaming service and the physical, because I'm a huge physical media fan. I
Horror
love it.
fans are, which thank God, because then that helps us be able to like keep making more movies.
Oh yes, oh yes. So I have a couple more questions, but I'll dial it down to probably like one or two because I know we're getting close on time. Do you have a favorite Chucky version of like how he looks?
Scarred Chucky for sure.
Oh yes, 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 yes. I agree on that one. And I'll end it on this one. Do you have anything else in the works right now? Anything that you're writing or acting in or anything like that?
So many people are like, you should be in front of the camera. I'm like, no. So funny. Um, I shot and directed a making of the Foo Fighters movie Studio 666 that came
Yeah,
out last year. So that footage exists in the ether, and I hope that it comes to fruition of a full documentary because there's enough there to be a full documentary. It's just in the hands of a studio now, so I do not have as much control over it. But I hope that that is something that people can see at some point someday. And then I'm trying to go back. Well, I am going back into narrative filmmaking and potentially doing some shorts in the interim before setting out to do a feature film,
awesome.
either one that I write or that I find through whoever wants to give me their story.
That's awesome. That's you got a lot ahead of you, and you're still, really young, and you've already lived so much through, Chucky, and now doing this and doing stuff for Foo Fighters. That's big too. Like that's something that no one should gloss over. Like doing anything for that band and for that movie, that's amazing. Congrats on you for your success thus far.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, I got a tattoo the other day that Dave drew me a
Oh,
tattoo on
I saw
last
you
day of
post that. Yeah, that was really, really funny.
Yes, it's to
Oh my God.
commemorate it. You got to if it's the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I know that's pretty much all that we have time for right now. But Kyra, thank you so much for being here. And for any of your other projects, I always like to kind of leave it out there for anybody who comes on to want to come on and talk about anything else they have going on. So we can keep in contact or anything like that. And I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah, me as well. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to Screenbox and everybody else that helped put this together because this is amazing. And the year is just beginning, and we're already getting amazing things. So thank you
Oh,
guys. Thank you.
oh,
And we'll see everybody on the next one.
bye.